Yeah, it's a badass documentary. You don't watch documentary anymore. What?
On where?
It's on YouTube. We don't have nothing else.
I know. Thanks a lot.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do. We have Netflix.
No more.
Yes, we do. Want to bet?
What do you have?
Oh,
Show me what you have.
I was just watching it last night, bitch.
Yeah, last night, but now it's gone. I tried to watch some shit this morning. We'll get it back in the first pool. Hopefully we get it.
Third.
First. My mom told Dito the first.
Third.
Third.
First.
Third.
Third, you stupid son of a...
Fuck it then.
Or
the third.
second.
What?
It might be second.
Who said?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
But you guys don't have Twitch. Tween. Tween.
Hey, shut up, shut up.
What, Chiquitas? We're going, Chiquitas.
A sunburned man found a lump on his arm.
Oh, that's badass. I used to subscribe to that channel. That guy's badass right there. Look at the one about alcohol. There's one on there.
Presenting to the emergency
Oh, hi,
room with a
come here.
15-minute.
That guy's badass. He explains shit all badass.
Tells the admitting nurse at admission that he had been developing a weakness on the left side of his body over the last few days. You see, KC was a farmer in rural middle America. Every year he was
That guy's name is
sunburned for
Chubby
at least
Woo.
3 months.
Chubby Woo.
Yeah, something like that.
Didn't really care about
See?
anything for his health
Chubby
because
Woo.
he'd been okay for his whole life.
Badass.
Several months ago, a sunburned KC found an asymmetrical pigmented lesion with
I
irregular
already saw this
borders
one.
growing rapidly on the skin of his right arm. Day after day, the lump would seem to morph into something new, grow larger and ulcerated, but without pain.
He does one about
thought it might
cirrhosis of the
be
liver.
cancer,
Fucking
but the
badass.
doctor's visit was
He
unnecessary.
tells you why people's eyes
Most of
turn
his farmer's
white
life was
or yellow.
fixing things on his own, whether it was parts of his home or his farm equipment. He lived
eyes
a
turn yellow because
self-sufficient life.
Your liver doesn't
He always had
process the
tools
same
he could
chemical
have done
that
in
makes
any
you shit
case
brown.
Of his skin cancer.
Isn't that crazy?
That he could fix.
So your eyes get brown.
Immediately after removing his own skin tumor, Casey thought that the story was over. Nothing more to be done here. Wrap it up with a cloth and carry on, he thought. Over the next few months, Casey felt great, but
I thought
noticed
that
that
for a
there
while,
was
I thought that the people always did, but
inside
now
his
I
right
people
armpit
die.
underneath the skin. It was warm to the touch, and sometimes he could feel a pulsating
Then there's one about the girl that has a mustache.
Every morning he'd wake up and put his hand on the lump and feel his
Everywhere over here, girls have mustaches.
Huh?
Everywhere over here, girls have mustaches.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
not right, you know.
Before, and if he has to do it again for the lump in his right armpit, then he'll have to do it. Except a PET scan revealed hypermetabolic lymph nodes in that region. Hyper meaning high, metabolic referring to cellular division, and lymph nodes denoting the structures in your body where white blood cells from your immune system accumulate and drain. These kinds of lymph nodes indicate that
saying your mom has a mustache?
inside
No.
armpit.
No.
About a month ago, Jennifer started to notice that Casey was developing irregularities in his walk. It appeared to look like a limp that when confronted about it, Casey would deny everything. He actually couldn't
Bitch, I don't
see
limp.
himself.
You're crazy. Fuck you, I don't limp, bitch.
On his left
Dumb
side
bitch.
began
Time
developing
people I limp.
that were so bad that he'd feel as if someone were pushing from inside his skull against his eyes.
Yeah, people are pushing my skull, but I don't limp.
Changes in his personality.
Bitch.
A normally patient and down-to-earth man, he would now get physically angry at everything and nothing, until one day he was working out in the fields. He suddenly collapsed on a 15-minute seizure. An MRI finds multiple lesions developing in several regions of Casey's brain. Because there's no indication of infection, cerebral bleeding, and signs of radiation damage to his brain, and because these tumors don't have the characteristics of a primary tumor, it means that Casey doesn't have brain cancer, but that there's tumors in his brain that are from cancer
I subscribe to that channel.
elsewhere on
That
his
guy's so
body,
badass.
and that they've spread to his brain. Cells from his axillary
Oh my
He even
God.
tells you what the word means.
It wasn't just a swollen red lump. It was widespread cancer. Looking at the cells underneath the microscope,
Look at
multiple
that
markers
hypo.
were positive for a type of skin cancer based on
build
the
up
presence of
to
the
this.
polymer that gives tissue color and pigmentation, something called melanin.
Fucking rotten.
Even though Casey had removed the cancer from his right arm, it appears that the cells from that primary tumor are now growing in mass in his lymph nodes and in his brain. We can conclude here that KC is suffering from metastatic melanoma. Melan referring to melanin. Oma meaning tumor or irregular mass, describing the type of cancer that's growing on KC. And metastatic meaning that even though he had originally cut out the cancer himself, it has transcended the stationary site of origin and has started spreading all throughout his body. If in a healthy person you wouldn't normally find skin cells growing in the brain, then how is it possible that KC's skin cancer?
It's not cancer, it's actually lead.
Well,
I don't know if you knew it.
there's a bit of basic cellular biology to be known here. Cancer
A pencil lead tattoo.
its physical characteristics are something more. The genes in our body code for proteins, which give us our physical form, but they also signal for our
Leave the
cells.
fucking clock on, I have it on.
Proteins are made of amino acids.
Don't turn it off,
Amino acids
bitch.
are
Don't think
sequenced
that
together.
you're
I'm using it too, if you don't mind.
Changing that sequence
50 homie, pendeja, malo.
radiation from the sun
Tama,
causes mutations, but most of those mutations are non-sequential. They happen less than 0.01% of the
A la
time, and
ubicación.
fixed when the
A
sun
la
comes.
ubicación.
Sometimes these
Me he dicho,
mutations
el
create
gato me he dicho.
a cell to grow, and there's no signal to stop
Was it
growing.
supposed to be?
To keep reproducing
What?
with no signal to stop reproducing.
What? Somewhere
To grow their own blood supply and to survive in the circulation
little
of
doggy
the
here
distant
somewhere.
sites of the body.
Ala,
Funny.
Is more
What is funny?
disease. It's an
A
evolution
la
of
ubicación.
successful cellular survival.
Hola, pendejo, no.
Host. And Casey's case gives us more evidence of this. A genetic test is done on his lymph
A
node
la
cancer cells. A
ubicación.
single point
Me he dicho,
mutation was found
gato me he dicho.
on the gene named BRAF.
That's how he sounds when I say cow.
99, where there should have been an there was a T, meaning
Cows.
protein made by the gene BRAF. One amino acid was changed their position to 600, creating something called a V600E mutation. A normal functioning cell uses RAF, which feeds into a pathway of the cell, causing it to grow with limitations. But BRAF V600E promotes unmitigated cellular growth and uninhibited cellular division, which gives us a condition necessary for it to be cancer. But there's more. When you pee, some urethral cells will be in that pee. Physics tells us that for any flowing fluid, a shear stress will be produced along the surface on which it flows. For biological systems, it means that some of the cells can come off
Siete
when you
se
urinate,
manifiesta.
but cells can also come off when blood flows into a tissue.
Gato
And
me
as
he dicho.
melanomas grow thicker and deeper into the skin, the chance of metastasis becomes higher and higher. We call this high-risk disease because then melanoma cells can break off from the primary tumor and float around in the blood. The blood vessels going into the brain have a special biology called the blood-brain barrier. It prevents certain substances from going in, but allows others in. This blood-brain barrier has proteins on its surface. Melanoma cells also have an overexpression of proteins on its surface, meaning that if the skin cancer cell can break off from the tumor and live within the blood circulation, then when it gets into the vasculature of the brain, it can adhere onto the proteins at the blood-brain barrier and begin to grow and multiply, forming a brain metastasis. Melanomas are the third most common cancer to spread to the brain. Breast and lung cancers have a higher incidence of brain metastasis, but data shows that 40 to 50% of patients who have a melanoma that spreads somewhere in the body will eventually have it spread to the brain. The massive headaches, the paralysis on one side of his body, the 15-minute seizure. If this continues unchecked, the brain mass is growing inside KC will eventually rupture the blood vessels in the brain, causing fatal damage through the cerebral cortex. Ultraviolet radiation from the sun is known to cause cellular damage because the sun doesn't shine directly on Casey's brain, nor did it shine on his lymph nodes, but it shined on his skin, and skin cancer is known to spread to the brain and lymph nodes. Then we know where these tumors originated from. Case reports of people who, for years, worked in an environment where the sun shined on one half of their face revealed the extent of damage possible to skin tissue by UV radiation. Queensland, Australia, where the UV index is often high, and people with light-colored skin who are not genetically adapted to the harsh sun
I'm not white, so I'm fine.
to the melanoma capital of the world, with an incidence rate of 71 cases per 100,000 people. 3 times that of the United States. The metastatic propensity of malignant primary tumors is a recurring theme when it comes to causes of mortality in cancer. Colorectal and stomach cancers commonly spread to the liver first, as the shared blood supply make it one of the first organs of contact. Bone cancers typically go to the lungs first. Breast cancers commonly spread to the lungs, liver, bones, and the brain. And lung cancers typically go to the brain first, as blood passes through the lungs to be oxygenated. Pick up cancer cells there as the fluid produces a shear stress along its interface. Enter into the left ventricle, into the aorta, into the carotid arteries, and into the brain. And uveal melanoma, a cancer of the melanocytes in the eyes, which is skin, typically spread to the liver first, despite the eyes being right next to the brain.
What?
For case
If I give you water,
either before or after he removed it, the cancer had already started to spread all throughout his body. There are a few things that can be done for prognosis to predict the outcome of his disease at this late stage. His brain melanoma is metastasized to the brain and produce symptoms like 15-minute seizure. Historic data from multiple studies show that median survival, the time at which 50% of patients are left alive, is less than 5 months. And that by 18 months after diagnosis, about 10% of patients are still alive. Throughout any clinician's career, over the many patients that one will see, statistically, there will be those few patients who live with stable disease for a long period of time, but those patients are the exception and not the rule. At the time Casey was diagnosed in early 2011, multiple treatment modalities were available for him. Traditional chemotherapy in metastatic melanoma had fallen by the wayside by the time he presented to the emergency room, as they were known to have little to no effect on brain metastases. Casey was offered brain surgery in an attempt to prevent more seizures, prevent the tumor from causing a brain bleed, and minimize dysfunction. He declined and elected radiation therapy, which irrigates the cells, thereby damaging the DNA sufficiently to prevent them from reproducing. But it appeared that Casey presented to the emergency room too late. Hemorrhage ensued before at autopsy, Casey's brain masses were found to have had the same V600E mutation as the mass in his right arm.
You fucking little taco bitch. Taco's a little bitch.
The exact same gene with evidence of
yeah, really. Sweaty. I'll shit all over you. I really don't give a fuck if you fucking you fucking bitch! I'll fucking kill you!
Early detection along with going to a surgical oncologist for consultation instead of removing the skin tumor himself could have prevented this outcome for KC. Prevention with sunscreen, sitting in the shade and limiting one's sun exposure during the summer months is still the best approach to one's health in this context. The ancient Chinese had a character for cancer, based off of the word for rocks, implying a burden carried by one's body. The character has a formality to indicate illness on the right as it resembles a sandwich. You get raw bacon for a primary tumor with worms. Those are bugs. Metastases that continue to spread to infinity.
To infinity and beyond. Hello, do you have a mic? Hello, do you have a mic? Let's Chucky. Listen, salty.
Response rates, progression-free survival, and
Oh, Chucky.
but they can and will be better yet.
Slan peasant.
Cancer is still a burden of humanity. Thank you to the Griffith family of Green Road in Ireland for allowing me to record on their farm. And thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself and be well.
Oh, I might land oh yeah, I might land here. Oh, I didn't mean to land here. No, I don't want to land here. I want to land haunted. I want to land here, bro. Like, I don't want to land haunted. Or land.
Those characters come to life.
Fiesta. I'm gonna go over there and
sorry, I lied in the title. That's right. In 2018, I read 72 books. Here in my garage, and this is all my knowledge and the other dead memes. 28-year-old man discovers books is a thing. It's the end of the year, and I wanted to make sort of summary and talk about some of my favorite books that I read this year. And I also wanted to make this book to hopefully inspire you guys, or people in general, to read as well. The percentage of teenagers that read for fun is at an all-time low. Let's change that. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
The reason why I started reading was because I
pulling up over, alright? So
resolution. So I thought, okay,
don't worry.
maybe this could you guys could
I
hit
see
the same
people
resolution.
on
Maybe you guys have the same problems I had, which is that I kind of
I went for 20.
finishing things.
Gonna be at me, no.
Generally, as soon as things get a little difficult,
No. I'm sorry, man.
and this could be for even silly
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like
you're gonna leave me now.
playing a video game. If it gets boring at some point, I don't really care to finish it, and I'll just buy a new game or move on to something else. Or whether it's
I'll kill this guy for you, bro. Don't you worry. You worry, don't you
Maybe I should
worry.
run for Congress, babe.
finishing something. I miss that gratifying feeling of, you know, even if it was the most fun. I still, I'm glad I went through with it. I'm still glad I
Run for killing rabbits.
preachy moment incoming, and kids haven't been preachy enough so far.
What do we
Especially with social media as well, which literally never has an end to it. It's just something that keeps going and going and going and going. I wanted to have that feeling. So I said that my New Year's resolution was going to be that no matter what I do, I'm going to finish it. And I didn't have books in mind at all. They just sort of became that I decided, okay, I'll read a book, and even if I don't like it, I don't care. I'm just going to finish it. So I started off with reading sci-fi, and to be fair, I didn't really enjoy it that much. I'm still glad I read it, and I knew I wanted to read something different next, and I really enjoyed that, and it just sort of moved on and on and on, and here I am later, and I'm so happy. I'm so glad I made this decision. One of the major discoveries for me this year was discovering my favorite author, which I talked a lot about on this channel, which is Yukio Mishima. Didn't know anything about this author when I read him, which I think really added to the effect for me, so I almost don't want to talk about him because discovering him is cool and fun almost, or it really added to the experience for me. I tweeted out on Twitter, there was any recommendations for Japanese authors because I enjoyed reading.
Let him go!
Oh my fucking gosh!
I thought Yukio was a female name. I thought it was a female author because when I read The Sailor Cup of Grace at Sea, I just felt so completely immersed into the main character's mind, which is something I never really experienced.
Get over here, Taco! Hurry up!
This young boy.
Shut the fuck up, you don't.
No!
Get out that game!
I was there.
Now!
And I felt like I got a window into that time and period.
Don't get on it again!
And that really is why I was so drawn to his literature. Afterwards, studying the book, learning about Yukio Mishima's life, you